Assalamu alaikum. I'm making this video for the sake of the brothers who just joined the school and demanding that they need to know how to make exams for the students. So I hope this is going to be really helpful. So the first thing you do is this is the front page you see when you log into your MLG. So after that, the you go to your question bank because we already had some questions in our bank from last year. If you want to pick from it, it's fine. But if you want to make new questions for the students, you have to click on the question banks first. So if you click on that, then it brings you here. So when you arrive this place, now this is my bank. I already have 275 for grade 7, grade 11, 182, for grade 12, 141. So if let's say I had nothing before, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add to my bank. For example, I want to add another bank. Maybe I want to add grade 5. So I click on add. I click on add bank. And when I click on the add another bank, then you click on the bank to rename it so that you can know what the name is. To rename it, I'm going to name it grade. I'm going to name it rename. Excuse me. Let me go back. So it's 1 minute. So I click on the bank and it brings me here. And I have a new bank here. So I'm going to rename the bank. I'll rename with grade 5 science. So, and it should, I might remove this if I want. And if you want to leave it, no problem. So you leave it that way. So that's the name of the bank. So now you want to add a question. If you want to add a question to your bank, you have to click on the grade. You have to click on the grade you want to add questions to. If it's grade 12, you click on it. If it's 7, if it's 11, but I think the internet is slow. So I already have grade 5, grade 7, grade 11, grade 12, grade 5. So if you click on grade 5, then it brings you here. Then you click on add question. If you want to add multiple choice, multiple response, true and false, ordering or matching, depending on what the question you want to add would look like. So you click on, I want to make a multiple choice. So I click on it. Then it takes me to this section. So in this section, you have, now the name is grade 5 science new bank. So I click on multiple choice, it click on the complexity, means you want to select the level of the, if it's hard, difficult, or medium, depends on you, or it depends on the kind of question you want to add to a bank. So I'm going to click medium. Classification, do you want them to understand, comprehend, application, analysis, or skills? Then I'm going to click on understanding. Then what is objective? The objective is already in the person guide. So once you type the name, once you type something that looks like the what do you call it, the objective is going to bring some results. So you can see now I have grade 5 observation. So let me click on scientist, because what I'm teaching the grade 5 now is how to investigate. So now it says inquire how scientists investigate. So my title, I'm gonna use the same title, like scientist, or scientific investigation. Scientific investigation. So that's my title. So now it's going to demand from you to select if you want to make it English or in Arabic. So I'm going to select English. So the next thing is you move on to the next level. The next level you have, if you want to mention what the category is, but I don't think you need those aspects. The question body. Now my question I want to ask, why do scientists ask questions? So this is my question body. So if you have some pictures to display, and I mean to display with your question, you should select from here. Let's say you had some pictures before on your desktop or on the computer. So you select and browse, you look for it. Then after you've searched for it, then you upload the image. So let's try and look at something. If I have a picture here, it's going to take me to my my folders or my materials. So if you have nothing, no problems. But if you have something and you think you can add it, so it's going to add more to your scores in the MLG. So I don't have anything there. So now you have choices for your questions, because mine was multiple choice, so you should have choices. So now, why do scientists ask questions? The first one, to know or to have more information. To have more information about something, to have fun, or to display ignorance. So these are my choices. Ignorance. So these are my choices. So you have to select what your answer will be. So I will select this to have more information about something. So now I think this is all you need to do to have a question bank. So now after that, then you save it. So when you click on save, then it's going to save. Now question has been saved successfully. So I've got a question in my bank. So this is the way you repeat the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and you continue that way. Now, if you've done that, then you come here, you select from this section, online assessment. You know, before we selected the question bank because we had no question in it. But now we've been able to have a question in the bank. So you go to the online assessment and click on it. So when you click on the online assessment, you're going to have this icons here. The first thing is the exam preparations. You click on it, mean you want to prepare the exam for your students to solve. So before now, I had some questions in my bank. So I have some questions in my preparation. So these are my questions. So what you do is the next thing is you click on add. That means you want to add new exams to your exam preparation. So the first thing is don't forget you had a name for your exam before, and that was maybe sometimes it happens that you forget what you've written before. So you can give another name. You can give scientific, but I could still remember mine, which was scientific investigation. So make sure you write it somewhere so that you don't make a mistake in writing something else here that would not tally with what you had before. So now you click on the exam type. Many times you click on periodic evaluation. So it's going to load, and the question type, just specific questions. So this area, you don't just ignore it. Then the next thing you need to do is you choose the material. You know, I take 3 sections. I take SAT, general science for grade 5, and general science for biology. So, but remember, if you want to make your exam preparation, it has to be at least 3 questions. But because I never had any question in my grade 5 science, I'm going to use the questions I have in my general science biology. So the lesson has to be a lesson that tallies with what you had before in your question bank, or the lesson which is in your person guide. So the lesson we'll be having, which is in the person guide, is characteristics of living things, which is the week 1 and 2. So I click on 2. So, and also now it brings you here. So what you do is you add questions. To add questions is going to take you to the bank. So now you select the grade you want to add questions for from your bank. I'm going to add for grade 7. So when I click on it, then it's going to take me to where my questions are in my question bank. So it's loading. So now I think there is no data there. I think there's a mistake here. So let me check it out. Okay, now this is why I have. So now I have questions in my bank before. Now the questions are up. So it says, so now with 7 no bank. So I have all these questions in my bank before. So you go to where you want to select from them. If you want to select from any of the questions, you go there. So I would like to select from my the last questions in my bank. So let's say, okay, now let me select from here. Let's say you have digestion, then you click, and click. So as you click on it, the icon is supposed to turn red, but I think the network is very slow. It's not responding well. So now I have the questions I had in my bank. So now it's up. So I'm going to select 1, 2, 3. You can have at least 3 questions for an examination. You cannot have less than 3. So you must make sure that you have your questions in the bank are made in groups of 3. Like you make 15, 12, 9. But make sure that you have at least 3 in the bank. So now you have to grade it after you select the questions there. Then you grade it, like the number of marks you allocate into each of the questions. Now you're going to allocate 1, 1, and 1. As soon as you allocate the marks to it, it turns green. Then you select. So as you select, so the questions are being selected to your exam preparation. Then you do what? You save it. So you need to write a score, means the passing score. I think most of the time it used to be 2 for me. So you add it, then you save. Then after saving it, you then go back to where you had, where you picked the exam preparation from. Then you click on, you want to schedule, you want to have a schedule for the exam. So now exam scheduling. So the next thing is you wait. So now make sure you remember the name which you saved that question with. I think the question I saved before was saved with. So okay, now at this level, so what you do is you add a new exam scheduling. So now the title we used before was scientific investigation. Or you can use some other names. If you want to use some other names, make sure the title tallies with other ones. So I'm going to use characteristics of living things. Then exam name should be scientific investigation, which I used before. So let me go scientific investigation. So it makes more sense to use the same name. So scientific investigation and the normal thing, the periodic evaluation. So the time, all these things are there. So make sure that the day you're scheduling the exam will be the day of the start date. And also make sure that the end date will have to be the last day or when the report will be held, the MLG report. And I think that day is around 18th of October. So you have to go to 18th, or I think maybe 18 or 8, I'm not sure. So let's say 8th of October, that's the last day of the exam. That's the last day in which you're going to have a report for the first report of MLG. So make sure you have that, you have the day as the end of exam day. Then the next thing you do is when would you like to publish the report? It has to be a day after the last day of the exam. So it could be something around something around 9th of October, because the exam ends on the 8th. So make sure that it's like a day after, but it must not be a day before. If it's a day before, then that will be a problem. So if you want to, the exam level, is if did you plan the exam for the intermediate, the primary, or the secondary level? So let's select the intermediate with 7. So now there's something you have to know here, which is very critical. I made a mistake a lot last year. I used to select the grades one after the other. But no, you have to select all the grades together at the same time. You right click, you right click, and you drag down. So that select all the grades. So as soon as you do that, then you're going to click in terms of students. That means it's going to bring all the students in that grade. So, and after that, the next thing is, if you want to have a password for your exam, that's good. But if you think there's no need for password, then you can just click save. And after that, then your exam is ready for the students to tackle with. The students will have access to the exam anytime from now, as soon as I save the exam. But because I'm not ready to do this, I won't save it for now. So this is all you need to know about making an exam for the students. And after this, I think you're very good to have your good scores in MLG. Thank you very much for listening. Assalamu alaikum.